What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another vlog. My name is Dan, and today I want to share with you some updates about my Biologics shot that I've done around October last year in 2022, and also want to share with you why I haven't been posting in a while. So let's get right into it, because I don't like to waste time making too many nonsense videos. So number one, the reason I haven't been posting is because I've been living life. I've been traveling. I've been enjoying being on the water during the summertime. I got a motorcycle, so I've been riding and really doing everything I can to get work done and then go and enjoy life so that my stress levels and my psoriasis don't come back. Now, for those of you that have been asking about how do I feel and how is my psoriasis, and I've got quite a lot of private DMs in my Instagram account and also on YouTube, and in the comments I see quite a lot. My skin is absolutely clear. As if you can see, there's not anything at all that I can notice even. My elbows are clean, my legs are clean, my under the neck, usually I had some here. Behind the ears, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but there's absolutely nothing. And it feels amazing. So I can tell you this Skyrizi Biologics that I've done in October, I've done 3 shots total. So essentially you do the first one, then you wait 3 months, then you do the second one, you wait 3 months. And you continue essentially every 3 months. But I went to my dermatologist, I think it was around March, and we pretty much discussed like what the deal was, the plan going forward. And she looked at my skin and she said, yeah, it's all clear. And she pretty much told me word for word, and this is coming from a dermatologist, she's a professional, that's what she does, she's a skin expert. And she said, you know what, you don't have to keep doing the shots if you don't find the need to. If you decide that you want to keep going, by all means, I'll give you a prescription for it. But you don't need to continue doing the shots. If you see anything come back and you decide you want to go ahead to do another shot, go ahead. But there's no harm in it. It might work, it might not, you never know. It might not be as effective. But pretty much what she said is, don't bother continuing it. She didn't say it like that, but she pretty much hinted, don't waste your money. If you're clean right now, just experiment, try to go as far as possible without doing another shot. And if it comes back in any way, then go ahead and do it. Now, I can tell you the last shot, so if we calculate 3 months after October and then 3 months after that, I think the last shot was somewhere around, oh, I'm losing track of time right here. It's about, I think, I was supposed to have a shot in March and I missed it. So somewhere in January was the last time I've done a shot. That means that was pretty much January was the last time, and it's been almost half a year here that I've been absolutely clear. And after spending, I think, $5,500 a shot, so $17,000 roughly dollars, or 16 and a half, so roughly there, that was spent on this to get myself clear, I can officially say I've lived life since without a worry. And I would say I've been clear since the second shot. The third one was just because I felt like I had to do it. But after the second shot, I was fairly clear and life was back to normal. Now, back to the diets and the exercising, that does not mean I've stopped all of that. It does not mean I just ignored all of it and went back to doing whatever and not working out and all that. If anything, I've tripled down on it. I have literally went all in into full-on MMA training. So I'm doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for those that care. So I'm training lots, pretty much every second day, almost, if not every day. And then in between, I'm doing a lot of activities. I go out on the water. I go be active as much as possible. I do not like to sit and do nothing. And as far as diets, I maintain the same thing. No alcohol, pretty much zero. I would say practically no processed food. If anything, maybe very minimal, maybe 10% of anything I consume, if not less. And otherwise, very, very clean. No sauces, no spices for the most part. But some will say it's very boring. And believe me, the amount of criticism I got and the amount of shocked faces I got saying, you don't put spices in anything. I don't. I mean, I'm used to it. When you do it for a while, you get used to the taste and it actually starts to taste good. And then you learn how to do things like barbecue and this and that without the spices and the sauces that taste just as good. And if you buy the right ingredients, they'll taste good without all the additives. So that's the way I cook, and I'm used to it. Some will say it's disgusting, some will say it's fine, some don't care. In my opinion, it's all the same in your belly. As long as your belly is not upset at the end, then you did a good job. And if you're getting all the nutrition, then you did an excellent job. That's the way I look at it. I drink lots of water, I take my vitamins daily, and I ensure that I'm staying active all the time. So that never changes, never will change. And I haven't seen any signs of psoriasis. And I will say one of the most important parts, the stress levels have gone down a lot. Like I said earlier in the beginning of the video, I've been traveling. I've been doing a lot of activities. and I've been eating good. So that means that stress levels naturally will go down. And I definitely encourage you, if you have a lot of stress in your life and you think that just doing biologics shots will help cure your problems, it might help temporarily, but if you're under a lot of stress, if you're eating like terrible food, I was gonna say something that is not allowed on YouTube. If you're gonna eat bad food, if you're gonna do things that you're not supposed to do in general, you're pretty much asking for it to come back. So I recommend that if you're gonna do the biologic shots, whether it's Skyrizi or any other ones, I definitely recommend you stick to the protocol after that. Don't just think that you did the shots and now you can do whatever you want. That's the way it worked for me. Maybe what I'm saying is incorrect. Maybe once you do the shots, you can live your life whichever way you want and the psoriasis will never come back. I personally choose not to experiment that because I spent quite a bit of money. I mean, we're talking about close to 17 grand of spent money for expenses, medical expenses. So I'd rather not risk having it back. I'm enjoying life, feeling clear and feeling good about not having to deal with psoriasis and creams and doctors and all that. For once in my life, I can actually forget that I have psoriasis. You know what I mean? And that's probably an amazing feeling for a lot of you out there that in the comments right now or watching the video. I am sure that the days that you had no psoriasis, those are days that you forgot about because you're so used to it, you live with it. And I understand it. I've been there with you. I've been there for 9 years, if not more, at least throughout the duration of the channel. I believe it started like 4 or 5 years ago. So I know how that feels. And when you finally get rid of it, it's like, for a moment, you're like, whoa, I don't have to deal with anything. I don't have to worry about anything. I can go in public and nobody comments anymore. And it's like, it's a great feeling. And after a while, you even forget you had psoriasis. Like, it's been a while for me now. It's normal for me not to have psoriasis now, which is crazy to say that because at a time, if you take me back about a year ago, I was ready to give up everything I own, every possession I have just to get rid of it because it was that annoying. It was that frustrating that after so long of searching and trying things, nothing was working. So although this is technically a shortcut or not exactly natural or whatever you want to call it, at some point I had to figure out what can I do to make it work. And going forward, it does not mean that I'm fully an advocate for, hey, go jump on biologics and spend the money. Some of us can afford it, some of us can't. What I'm trying to say is that this is a solution that have worked for me, has done the job for me, and now I'm on the same track of figuring out how to keep my gut happy, how to make sure that I am in a good energy level, how to make sure that I have all the vitamins. I continuously make sure that I live healthy. And if anything, what Biologic did is it allowed me to live life normally without psoriasis and continue even more so improve my overall health. Now, I will warn you guys, for those of you that are just so excited to get rid of psoriasis, if you do the biologics and you inject the shots in yourself, you are pretty much suppressing the immune system. You're telling the immune system, hey, I'm going to put you on pause for a second here because I need psoriasis to stop inflammating and I don't want to be inflamed more and more and more and continue to show my skin. So what you're really saying to the body is, hey, white cells, because psoriasis is really white cells showing up on the skin, you're telling the white cells to stop appearing or to slow down from reproducing, and therefore your psoriasis will slowly fade. Now, that being said, you need the immune system to be working correctly on a regular because that's how you avoid from getting sick. That's how you avoid from getting problems. And I will say, when I first got the biologics shot in me, I never normally get sick, and I'm sure you've heard people say that, or you probably say that yourself, oh, I never get sick. Well, I'm one of those people that say that too, and I got sick 2 or 3 times. Now, granted, one of those times I knew why, because the person I was with, they were sick as well, but generally I never got sick. And the fact that I got sick 2 or 3 times in the span of 1 year, I was like, okay, I get it. There is the whole pandemic, and I get the people that I was next to maybe were sick, but I never got sick before. And all of a sudden, I got sick 3 times. So that told me that my immune system was weakened, obviously, from the shots. And quite clearly, that was the result. And after that, like when I finished the shots, the 3 of them, and I never did any more shots, it's been half a year roughly now, and I haven't got sick so far, knock on wood. So hopefully that I don't get sick anytime soon. But what I would imagine is happening right now, and this is a pure guess, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but my immune system is coming back to normal. Everything is returning back to how it was, minus the psoriasis, because the psoriasis is not catching on quick enough. And what I've noticed from the past, and you might agree with this, once you have a spot on your arm or your leg or whatever, it kind of lingers for a long time. And if it ever fades, usually a different spot will appear or the same one reappears. So for me, once the spots faded, for example, on my elbows, as soon as all the spots on my elbows faded, they're not really gonna come back, or at least for a while. And I'm not noticing any flakiness or anything like that. If anything, I've noticed a little tiny bit of flakiness around my eyebrows, but that could be just dry skin on a regular for any people. It can be just from the dry weather here in Canada, like we're going from sun to rain every other day. Could be many factors. Could be something I've eaten even that could affect it, and I wouldn't know. But for now, everything is very smooth and everything is really good. So I hope that answers a lot of your questions. Some of you kept commenting that you want me to post another video. I promise I'll try to maintain posting more updates as much as possible. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please make sure you do, because as you can see, I'm releasing good, helpful information. Hopefully that will help you find a solution that works for you. And just to confirm, I am not an advocate for biologics. I'm not an advocate for Skyrizi. They're not paying me for it, to say what I said. I'm just telling you what worked for me, and hopefully this will help you in any way, shape, or form as well. Now, for those of you that might have missed and didn't hear about this or didn't see my last video, there is an ebook that you can read about absolutely everything I've tried so far. If you don't want to try the biologics and you don't want to spend that kind of money, try to read through the ebook and see if there's anything in that ebook or from the process that I went through that might be able to help you. I'm not guaranteeing it's going to help, but I am guaranteeing you're going to find something that'll give you an idea of what you should try next, in case you haven't thought of that yourself. Anyways, guys, make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next vlog.